Hello and welcome to a new video here on my channel here at commaik. Today I'm introducing you to the Reolink Argus Eco Ultra. This small camera delivers 4K UHD recordings, is solar powered and features smart motion detection. This camera can be used as a standalone device. It can also be operated with the Home Hub or the Home Hub Pro. By the way, both cameras and the Reolink Home Hub Pro are available as a bundle. If you want to know whether the bundle is worth it and what this camera is actually capable of, then stay tuned as it's about to start. Reolink has once again provided me with a great bundle that I get to test for you. This bundle includes two Reolink Eco Ultra cameras and the Reolink Home Hub Pro to record the data. However, you can also store the data directly on a micro SD card in the cameras. If the maximum supported 512 GB card storage isn't enough for you, you can also store the data on the Home Hub or the Home Hub Pro. You can see the difference between the Home Hub and the Home Hub Pro here. The Home Hub Pro is noticeably larger. With the Home Hub, you can record up to 1 TB using two 512 GB SD cards, and you can manage up to 8 cameras. The Home Hub Pro is equipped with a real hard drive. This allows you to store significantly more data and manage up to 24 cameras. Today, I'll be giving the Home Hub Pro only brief attention and will introduce it in detail in a separate video later. Today, the focus is on the Reolink Argus Eco Ultra camera. The camera is small and inconspicuous. It can be easily hidden both outdoors and indoors to monitor the surroundings. Whether you want to deter or simply observe potential intruders, or if you want to watch the wildlife around your house or garden property. I think the camera is very well suited for this purpose thanks to its design. On the underside of the camera, next to the card slot, is the power switch. This can also be used to reset the camera. The camera is supposed to support micro SD cards up to 512 GB in size. A little further back, conveniently located on the device, is the versatile USB port. This essential port is precisely where the camera can be efficiently and reliably charged from a standard, readily available regular power outlet, ensuring continuous operation and convenience for the user. The Reolink Argus Eco Ultra is a battery-powered camera. It does not require a constant power supply. However, if you don't want to regularly recharge the camera from the power grid, you can also connect it to the Reolink solar panel. The 6W solar panel from Reolink comes with a 4-meter long cable to supply the camera with solar power. You need to install the solar panel in a spot where it gets regular sunlight in order to provide the camera with a continuous power supply. With the 4-meter long cable from the solar panel, you can also position the camera in places where there is no direct sunlight. The Reolink Argus Eco Ultra, great name, in my opinion features 4K UHD resolution with 8 megapixels. The diagonal field of view is 125 degrees. At night, even color recordings are possible, though not with the ColorX technology. The camera uses its built-in LED spotlights to illuminate the surroundings when needed, enabling color recordings. 3840 × 2160 pixels is the 4K resolution that this battery-powered camera delivers. A maximum of 15 frames per second is possible. Of course, this is limited by the battery. With a wired camera, a higher frame rate is naturally possible. But here, energy needs to be conserved. The color night vision with the LED spotlight is supposed to work up to 10 meters. With IR black and white vision, the range is even greater. I'll find that out when I do my test recording. And what's really important to me is that a speaker and a microphone are built in. That means I can also hear what's happening in the area. I can talk to the mail carrier, my kids, or whoever else. What I'm especially interested in is the battery life. The camera, or rather the battery in the camera, provides 21.6 watts. If a lot of alarms are triggered or the LED spotlight runs continuously at night, the camera won't last as long as it would if it had nothing to do. What's much more interesting to me is the question, can I recharge it at any time? For example, using the solar panel. Up to now, I've only tested my cameras in the summer at above freezing temperatures. But what about in winter? Some of you pointed out to me that battery-powered cameras don't charge as well at sub-zero temperatures, even when the sun is shining on the panel. Well, the reason is quite simple. Lithium-ion batteries have their issues with below freezing temperatures. The large balcony power storage units, like those from Sendure or Anker, have a built-in heater so they can function at all in winter. This camera, however, does not have a built-in heater. Despite the heat generated by the camera's CPU, the battery temperature won't be sufficient to charge the camera in extremely cold conditions. That's a drawback. I'll see how the camera performs in my test. But in summer, it should definitely work. For motion detection, this camera uses a PIR sensor. This PIR sensor responds to heat signatures. The advantage of this is that swaying trees and leaves, as well as spider webs, which are often spun in front of cameras, do not trigger the alarm. The PIR sensor primarily reacts to animals and people. So exactly what I want to capture on film. However, the downside of this PIR technology is that its range is shorter compared to a traditional motion detector. My cameras with image-based motion detectors were able to trigger alarms without any problems for movements at a distance of 30 to 40 meters. With PIR, my experience has been that at night, the limit for detecting movement is around 10 to 15 meters. For indoor use, that should definitely be sufficient. For outdoor areas, you should of course be aware that you can't use it to film a large field or an entire forest. The camera is especially worthwhile for the backyard, the driveway or the side entrance. Of course, you can also record what you are monitoring. You'll want to review the alarm recordings later. In the event of an alarm, you can be notified immediately via push notification. You can view the live images on your phone at any time. Of course, you can also review the alarm recordings later at your leisure on your smartphone or client. That way you can see if the fox was back again last night, if the marten showed up, and you'll see what the two cats were up to. Naturally, the videos have to be stored somewhere. As I mentioned earlier, you can of course use the Home Hub or the Home Hub Pro for this. With this, you can centrally control and manage up to 8 or even 24 cameras via smartphone or computer. But you can also store the data directly on the camera. The Reolink Argus Eco Ultra supports SD cards up to 512 GB. When you're on the go, you can access the camera directly from anywhere in the world using your phone. You can check what happened there yesterday or last week. 512 GB is a huge amount of storage for this purpose. I will now show you how I install the Argus Eco Ultra camera on my phone and on my computer. Afterwards, I will install the cameras in the garden and connect the solar panel. And then I hope to get lots of great footage to show you. How are the daytime recordings? How are the nighttime recordings? How good is the motion detection? I'm excited to find out the answers. If you already have this camera, let me know your experience in the comments below the video. I'm really curious to hear what you think about this camera. I'm looking forward to your feedback. If you don't have the camera yet, and want to know more, feel free to comment under the video as well. That way we can exchange ideas and pool the community's experiences using collective intelligence. If you want to buy the camera, please also check below the video. Reolink sponsors the cameras that I get to test for you. You'll find a link to Reolink in the video description below. There you'll also find links to other products that I've successfully tested and can wholeheartedly recommend. At this point, thank you very much and don't forget to like my video. That really helps me and my channel grow. Click to subscribe at the bottom right. That way you're on the safe side and won't miss any of my videos. It also increases your chances of participating in the giveaway. To register the Reolink Argus Eco Ultra with the app on my phone, I of course need to have the correct app installed. I'll put the link for that in the video description below for you. Once the app is launched, you can add a new camera by tapping the plus symbol at the top right. To do this, you just need to scan the QR code located on the camera. This is done pretty quickly. The app will first ask you whether you want to register the camera with the Home Hub or use it as a standalone device. I've already explained the difference before. If you connect the camera directly to the Home Hub or Home Hub Pro, you'll be using the Home Hub's Wi-Fi. You're limited to the Wi-Fi range of the Home Hub. The camera is integrated directly into this system. The advantage is that the camera doesn't appear anywhere on your network. Everything is managed automatically via the Home Hub's subnet. The downside is as follows. If you want to install the camera very far away and use an extender or repeater, then it doesn't work that easily. In that case, you should operate the camera as a standalone version. This is the version I'm using now. Next, I'm asked whether the camera is already registered in my Wi-Fi network. Of course, not this is the first registration. That's why I'm now going to register the camera in the Wi-Fi. First, I need to turn on the camera. To do this, I press the button on the underside until a signal sounds. I click on Next and confirm that I have heard the voice prompt. Next, I select the correct network and enter my Wi-Fi password. In order for the camera to connect to my network, I need to use the camera to scan a QR code in the app. As you can tell, the camera's voice prompt is really loud. Well, I certainly did hear the distinct beep. Now the camera connects to my router and adopts the Wi-Fi settings. After that, it's ready to use. I heard the voice prompt. Now I need to protect the camera with a password so that no unauthorized person can access it. As you can see, the setup is child's play. I simply followed the step-by-step instructions given to me by the camera and the app. The entire setup only takes a few minutes. It couldn't be easier. Or could it? The Argus Eco Ultra camera has been running in my garden for 2 weeks now, recording the entire area. What I noticed? The number of false alarms is almost zero. The camera did not record any spider webs, moving leaves, or gusts of wind. It only detected people and animals. The number of false alarms was zero. I was able to compare the alerts quite well with the notifications from my TrackMix and my RLC 1212A. They are mounted right next to the Argus Eco Ultra. Both of those cameras triggered significantly more alarms. However, there were also many false alarms. That is definitely a plus point that can be credited to the PIR sensor. At the same time, in my opinion, this sensor has a major drawback. The distance at which it detects movement is quite limited. 10 meters is the distance at which the PIR sensor reliably detects movement at night. 10 meters. That's the area where the grey patio stones end, that's where my pool ends. If the area you want to monitor isn't farther away, then this camera is a very good choice. If you want to observe a large field with deer and wild animals, then I'm not sure if this camera is the right choice. I rather think not. A second question that crossed my mind was, does the battery last? It's still winter. Even though the sun is shining strongly, temperatures drop to -5 degrees Celsius at night. During the day we have mild temperatures just above freezing. The battery held up. I connected the solar panel and the battery was constantly charged to 100%. Last weekend I had a longer session in the garden where I was chopping wood. The camera filmed me the entire day. The battery drained significantly, as you can see in the picture. However, there was still enough capacity left to keep powering the camera. My concerns were not confirmed. But if you live somewhere in the highlands with consistently extreme sub-zero temperatures, it could have an effect on the battery. Batteries need above freezing temperatures to charge. Let's get to the conclusion. Who is the Reolink Argus Eco Ultra worth it for? In my opinion, this camera is worthwhile for anyone who can't set up a PoE connection, network cable or separate power supply. It's a good choice for anyone who relies on a battery-powered camera. The field of view isn't as wide as the Argus Pro with its 180 degrees. With a diagonal of 125 degrees, I think it's more than sufficient for the area I'm monitoring here. I like the Argus Eco Ultra a bit more than the Argus 4 Pro. It's small and compact. In my opinion, the video footage is of very good quality. What do you think? Leave me some feedback below the video. Let me know what you think of the camera. Have you already used it? Do you have a better alternative? I would be really happy if we could exchange ideas about it. If you want to know where you can buy the camera, check below the video. Reolink has once again provided me with a promo link. Click the link and you get the camera at a great price, or go ahead and buy the bundle with the Home Hub Pro. And if you think this video helped you, then give me a like. That helps me and my channel move forward. Thank you for your support, and I'm looking forward to the next video with you. Take care. See you then. Bye.